Hello and welcome to this continuation of our Solid Advice, Solid Solutions series. I'm John Rett, Chairman of SunTrust Investment Services. Today we'll be discussing some key issues when it comes to retirement planning. Joining me are John Deal, Senior Vice President, Strategic Markets with The Hartford. John works with the MIT Age Lab and is an expert on longevity. Also, Alex Navarro is a private financial advisor with SunTrust Investment Services. Alex provides clients with investment planning and solutions. He holds numerous designations, including Certified Financial Planner. It's a pleasure to have both of you with me.
Thank you, John.
Pleasure to be here.
John, if I could start with you. Transitioning into retirement is one of the most stressful, difficult periods of someone's life. What are some of the key issues that you talk to clients about regarding this?
Sure, John. Obviously, retirement is a major milestone for most people. Understanding how long retirement will last is one of the key factors in retirement planning because it's probably much different than it was for our parents and grandparents. When I say life expectancy, many people think life expectancy at birth, but really the more useful number is life expectancy after you've already attained a certain age. So consider a husband and wife who've reached age 65. There is a 63% chance that one of those two will live to at least age 90 and a 36% chance that at least one of those two will live to 95 or past. So understanding longevity and factoring that in helps create a more realistic retirement plan. But another key factor, and this is where our work with the MIT Age Lab you mentioned, was understanding what we're going to be doing in retirement and how that's different maybe than retirements of years past, because we're going to live more active, engaging lifestyles, especially with healthcare advances and things like that. So we need to anticipate what those jobs of longevity are going to be. Maybe my next job is that of world traveler, or maybe it's the job of being a terrific grandparent, or maybe it's the job of caring for a spouse or a parent. And so understanding how long retirement will last and what we'll be doing with all those years really forms the basis of retirement planning.
That's really interesting. Can you kind of bring that down and summarize that for us? What does that mean for our potential retirees?
Sure, John. The bottom line is that longer life expectancies and more active retirements means that we're going to have to create more assets to use in retirement than previous generations, and also make very wise decisions about how those assets will be distributed over our retirement years.
Sure. Alex, how do you address these issues of longevity in your practice?
We really try to get to know our clients as well as possible to address their own individual situations, address what kind of a lifestyle expectation they have in their retirement. We also look at longevity based upon the life expectancy of their parents, what age they are or what age they deceased. Then we use our financial planning tools to evaluate how much money they've saved at this point in time, what their planned age of retirement is. The unknown is how long they're going to be in retirement, and then what rate of return they're receiving on those assets as of now. We determine what we have to do to adjust that plan to have it be a successful retirement. We also look at investment solutions that offer pension-like investments, which have basically lifetime income benefits.
John, a very important part of a retiree's life is their medical cost and rising health care. Can you give me your thoughts on those subjects and how we might see them in the future?
Sure, John. Healthcare expenditures are a number one concern of Americans, and with good reason. If you think about the pre-retirement years and our early retirement years, it may be the first time that we're wrestling with chronic medical conditions. And so the cost for prescription medications and doctor's visits and therapies, we're dealing with those for the first time. Understanding the rate of inflation of these kinds of services is really key, or anticipating those in the retirement plan is key. As a simple example, premiums for Part B Medicare increased 143% from the period 2000 to 2010. Wow. And it's not just the cost of medical insurance that we need to be cognizant of. The costs of other things like maintaining our homes, many things that we did perhaps ourselves earlier in our lives, we're now going to have to find services that can take those up for us. Cost of transportation, the cost of caregiving. If you're a female, MIT has shared with us, if you're female between the ages of 47 and 57 years old, especially if you're the oldest daughter in your family, chances are that the care of your parents will fall to be your responsibility. And if your husband or significant other does not have sisters, chances are you'll be caring for his parents as well. Anticipating what these challenges will be and making financial preparation for them is key to a successful retirement.
Alex, you can see why this is really important, and I know in dealing with your clients, this is a subject that you bring up. How do you address this subject when dealing with clients regarding longevity and health care?
Well, on the most basic level, it's really trying to grow the assets as much as possible so you have that income disposable to pay for those costs. On a more basic level, we really recommend long-term care insurance. And even if you can self-insure, we do have some hybrid solutions that offer long-term care benefits. In order to grow those assets, we do recommend including equities in the mix of their investment products because it really historically has outpaced inflation. Another note that we look at is basically an inflation rate that's not just based on everybody's inflation rate, but your personal inflation index, which basically has to do with how long you plan on retiring and what your retirement's going to be like. If you're a world traveler, your expenses are going to be higher than if you're going to stay close to home. So that's something we really address.
And that's why it's not just medical inflation, but really overall inflation trends based on those jobs of longevity that you're looking forward to doing.
Those are great points, John. Inflation has a tendency to erode your buying power over time, and not planning for that is one of the big risks and mistakes that you can make. The other risk is in taxes. Taxes are inevitable, and planning today with a portfolio that takes taxes in mind, but also equally important, when you go to take income from that portfolio in the future, it needs to be positioned in the most tax-efficient manner. Alex, can you give us some examples of how a client in retirement might protect themselves against taxes and inflation?
Well, I think first of all, clients need to think about investing for retirement rather than saving for retirement. At current savings rates of 1% on average on money markets, it'll take you 72 years to double your money. If you can get a 6% rate of return, that'll be 12 years. If you get a 12% rate of return, it'll be 6 years. So that's something that they really need to consider, and we really need to re-educate our clients about the fact that a lot of people want to preserve their principal. The real conversation should be preserving your purchasing power. That, to me, keeping up with inflation and getting a rate of return above inflation should be the real conversation. I think that's the more real and ominous threat.
So I think the point there, Alex, would be that asset allocation or the types of investments that you buy is important not just at the time of retirement, but also through retirement.
That's correct.
Alex, as a certified financial planner, you're helping clients all the time save for retirement, invest for retirement. How do you go about the planning process for retirement?
Well, each client has their own individual situation, and we really want to create a dialogue between the client and ourselves to get to know them as people and really know what their dreams and aspirations are as far as what their retirement will look like. And then we basically start using our financial planning tools to put it down on paper and come up with basically a roadmap of where they are now and where they would like to go to. And then we address the issues. If they're not getting to where they want to go, we need to address some issues. And some of the things we run into are not investing enough, not achieving enough of a rate of return, not matching fixed expenses with a fixed income stream. And what we recommend really to address some of these issues are basically coming up with pension-like solutions, increasing, where appropriate, increasing equity exposure, and long-term care insurance and long-term care hybrid solutions where you can leverage your existing money even if you can self-insure.
So Alex, it sounds like retirement planning is really more of an ongoing conversation than it is just a one-time event.
That is correct.
And it's interesting because every year the Hartford conducts a retirement and investment survey, and every year consistently we see that those who have taken concrete steps to plan are more confident about their future and feel better about being able to manage their expenses and assets than those who haven't planned. And those who haven't planned tell us that if they ever needed help, they're not sure who to turn to when it comes time for advice. And so I think forming a relationship with a trusted financial advisor is a key step in beginning the financial planning process.
I agree.
And I do too. Retirement planning is about striking a balance between enjoying today and planning for a great tomorrow. We encourage you to talk to your advisor about your goals and aspirations for retirement. If you don't have an advisor, call us. We can help. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Solid Advice, Solid Solutions. Thank you, John, and thank you, Alex, for joining me today.